Hello, my nerdlings. If you're new here, my name is Nikki. Welcome to my channel where we get nerdy. Today, we're doing a series review. I posted a few days ago on Instagram a poll of what type of video you would like to see next, and this is the one that won. And it took me forever to decide what series I was going to talk about. First, I was like, let's do the Bergman brothers. But no, I talked about 3 of those books in my last video. And then I was like, what about Off Campus or Briar U? And it's like, no, because I'm going to be doing a hockey rec video at some point. So I said, screw it. I'm sure I am extremely late to this party, but I figured, why not do a series review of ACOTAR, A Court of Thorns and Roses by Sarah J. Maas. So book 1 is ACOTAR. Book 2, ACOMAF, A Court of Mist and Fury. Book 3 is ACOWAR, A Court of Wings and Ruin. Book 3.5, A Court of Frost and Starlight. And book 4, but a lot of people say technically just book 5, is A Court of Silver Flames. So, the reason I finally read these books is because of my niece, Haley. Haley has been a fan of Sarah J. Maas since she published her first book way back when, right? Like forever ago. She has wanted me to read ACOTAR and Throne of Glass and Crescent City forever, and I've just put it off, and I've put it off, and put it off. And then the deal was, if I read this series, Haley would pick up the Empire of the Vampire. So, I don't know if she actually has picked up Empire of the Vampire, but that was just the deal, right? So, if you have lived under a rock and do not know what A Court of Thorns and Roses is about, it is about Feyre Archeron, who is 19 years old. Family lives in a 1-bedroom cabin. They are not very well off. They used to have a point in society where they were well taken care of. They had a manor and they had people that took care of them, and then they lost their money. And so they had to move into this rundown cabin. Their dad is injured. Their mother is dead. The 3 sisters are Feyre, Elaine, and Nesta. Nesta's a bitch. Elaine is a complete ditz, and I don't understand Elaine. I can't stand Elaine. Anyways, Feyre takes it upon herself to teach herself how to trap and hunt animals. And one day, while she is out hunting, she accidentally kills a Fey male. And because of a treaty, she kills a Fey. She has to go to the fairy realm to live, which is called Prythian. So she has to go live in Prythian with Tamlin. Tamlin is the High Lord of the Spring Court. In Prythian, everything is divided by, you have spring, autumn, winter, and summer, but then you also have the night court, the day court, the dawn court, and the dusk court. Things like that. Anything else? I don't think so. Okay, so she goes and she lives in this manor. It gives definitely very Beauty of the Beast vibes, right? He has a mask that is permanently stuck on his face because of a curse from an enchantress and blah, 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 blah. This book is a fucking snooze fest. It's not until the last 150 pages where things actually start to happen, and it starts to get good. Screw you, Sarah J. Maas. It's a slog, right? It was a chore to get through this, but we did. And in my opinion, this is the worst of all of this series so far. Okay, this is a continuing series. The next book, I heard rumor it comes out next year. I heard rumor it's not till 2026. So, Miss Sarah J. Maas, figure something out, please. Okay. Then we have A Court of Mist and Fury. In this, we, again, are following Feyre. But Feyre has had some shit happen between here and here. She just stuff goes down, right? And a lot goes down between these two books. A lot. All right? I'll talk spoilers in a little bit. And here we're introduced more to the king, well, the High Lord of the Night Court, and his name is Rhysand. We're introduced to Rhysand and Rhysand's group of friends that consist of Azriel, Cassian, Mor, and Amren. And we're also introduced to some other of the courts as well, but mainly just the Night Court in this one. In this one, we're introduced to a lot more of the other courts. We're introduced to Helion. I can't remember if he's summer or day. But there's Helion, and then there's other names. We eventually meet them all, okay? Including the dickwad that runs the Autumn Court, King Baron, or whatever. I think is his name. I don't like him. Not one bit. And then this one is just like a cute little novella of just like what Christmas is like in the fairy realm. I actually really like this book. I have the unpopular opinion of the fact that I really like this book. Oh, it's the solstice. It's the solstice, not Christmas. And then in this book, we follow Nesta, Feyre's older sister that is a complete fucking bitch. But we find out why Nesta's the way she is. And then this one is, like, granted, okay, there is spice in these four, right? Not a lot, but there is spice. Like, maybe 2 or 3 chapters. This one, maybe 10 or more chapters of spice. Pure smut. This is where you hear the fairy smut. This is this, right? Okay? In my opinion, let's see. Let's look at how I would rate these. I would rate this book number 1. This, and it's not just purely for the smut. I will for that. The character building that you get with Nesta throughout this murder weapon of a book is phenomenal. You really learn what makes her tick and why she's such a bitch. Does it change the fact that I think she's a bitch? No. She's still a great character. She's still a bitch, though. But she's a bad bitch. Right? We like Nesta by the end of this. At least I ended up liking Nesta by the end of this. Is she my favorite character in this whole series? No. Not in the slightest. Then we go to ACOTAR. I absolutely love ACOTAR. It is my second favorite in the series, followed by ACOMAF, ACOFAS, and ACOTAR. Okay, so bottom to the top, this is, in my opinion, how they should be ranked. Anyways, so spoilery bits. I have some theories, okay, guys? I don't think that this is the original Beauty and the Beast story. Like, it reads like it, but I don't think that's how it's supposed to be. I think, here, let me give you a few seconds to click off the video in case you haven't read these, that I don't spoil you with my fan theories. Are you gone? Okay. I think, because of how ACOTAR is called A Court of Wings and Ruin for a reason. All right. She leaves Tamlin in the summer court, in the spring court, to be with Rhysand in the night court. Come to find out, they're mates. Ooh. But she ruins Tamlin. Absolutely ruins the man. Leaves him in the state of where he stays in his beast form. This is Tamlin's beast form, okay? He stays in that beast form like almost permanently. He does not come out of it. He ruins her. And I think Feyre is the technical enchantress that makes the beast. And then he needs to find his true Belle to bring him out of that, okay? All right? That's my opinion for that one. And then we have Lucien, right? Lucien is Tamlin's right-hand man. He claims to have a fated mates bond with Elaine, the useless sister. Because I'm telling you, this girl, she loves plants and she loves flowers. If your family is fucking starving, why aren't you planting crops that they could actually eat? But no, let's plant roses and flowers that you can't do anything with. Anyways, they supposedly have a fated mates bond. However, the way it's described in the books, it doesn't sound like it. It honestly sounds like a spell. Because the bond for mates that is described in A Court of Silver Flames is so much more intense than all the other ones. Like, way more intense. And then, as you keep reading, you meet Cassian and Azriel, right? Cassian comes to be out Nesta's mate. I'm fine with that. I'm okay with Cassian and Nesta. People want to ship Az and Elaine. Not okay with that. I like Lucian and Elaine. I think Az should be with Gwen. You'll figure out who Gwen is if you decide to read the series. If you haven't already. If you know who Gwen is, like, do you agree with me? I hope you agree with me. But it also claims, Sarah J. Maas has said, that in the next book, someone is going to betray the inner circle. The inner circle is Feyre, Rhysand, Cassian, Azriel, Morrigan, Nesta, and Amren. Right? That's the inner circle. Someone's going to betray that inner circle. And I have feelings on who it is. I think it's more. Right? Because in the series, we are introduced to this man named the King of Hybern, and King of Hybern is a fucking dick. Like, the King of Hybern gives me, and I don't say this lightly, he gives me Hitler vibes. Okay? Like, he just wants to take over the humans, and only fairies reign because that's who's superior. I don't know if that is why Miss Maas wrote it that way, but that's just how I have read it and perceived it. And the King of Hybern's, spies were called ravens. Mor is named after the Morrigan in mythology, whose symbol is a raven. I'm convinced it's Mor. Someone else I saw on TikTok pointed out that they believe Lucian is the one that will betray because his symbol is the fox, and foxes are sly. I don't think he's that fucking dumb. But I liked this series. Do I think it was the best fantasy series ever written? No. It reads really young. I could see why some people would start to confuse it as YA because of how young it reads, but it is definitely not. It is definitely an adult series. There is a lot of context. There's a lot of stuff that happens that it should not be read by younger audiences. Do I understand why it has a cult-like following? Yes, I do. Because it is an easy read. It's digestible. And then the magic world, it makes you want to live there, right? Except certain areas you definitely don't want to live in. So I understand why this is liked. I made my husband read this, and he enjoyed this series, and then he continued on to read Throne of Glass, and has said that Throne of Glass is astronomically better than this. I have not read Throne of Glass yet. I do have the series. I have not read it yet. It's on the to be read, right? So, do I recommend this series? Yes, I recommend this series if you are looking for a fun fantasy romance that has the political parts that you want. Do I think it's, the greatest writing of all time? No. But it got its job done. So, that's my opinion. Hit the like button if you did. Comment down below what you think about ACOTAR if you've read it or if you have not read it. Hit the subscribe button if you want to see more. And until next time, you are loved and you are valid.